The sub €30,000 new car space in Ireland can be a fairly lonely car park. So when things pop up that start in the mid-20s, you kind of go, oh, that's interesting. So here we have the most up-to-date version of the Seat Ibiza, a car that has been around in my head forever. It's still small, it's still compact, it's still good for getting around the city, but they've managed to squeeze quite a bit of space inside the car. Under the bonnet, a 1 litre TSI petrol engine. So what's it like to live with and drive? Has it got enough power? And is there enough space inside for you and maybe 3 other members of your family? If you want to find the answer to that question, you're in the right place. Welcome to Nobby on Cars. Quick POV tour of the Ibiza then from the front. You might remember there was kind of like the Cooper style headlights and daytime running lights that were previously on pre-facelift versions of this car, so they have been slightly replaced. Fog lights are down lower on the front, a couple of creases across the bonnet, which adds just a little bit of difference going on over the front. And it's a very sharp looking nose. Looks good. This is graphene grey is the colour of this particular car, by the way. 18-inch alloy wheels on the side of this Ibiza. They're kind of two-tone. I mean, in some ways it kind of reminds me of an Audi A1/A3. It's kind of got a bit of both of those cars going on. Do you agree? And over the rear we've got a couple of fake looking exhausts. They always are good for splitting opinion, gathering opinion. Still looks different. The taillights are kind of neatly tucked into the far corners of the car. And we have a rear wiper, very important on these rainy July days here in Ireland. So yeah, kind of pretty small, neat taillights over the back of the car. Oh, and one other thing you'll notice on the B pillar is anniversary limited edition on certain trim versions of this FR. Now, it might be a small car, but it actually offers a lot of practicality in the boot. 355 litres or 823 if you drop the rear seats. And as you can see, there's a little bit of netting for keeping things tucked away if you like. A couple of tethering points on the car. You can drop the floor where there's a lovely mobile tire kit to get you back on your way, but you can actually store some bits in there. And the all-important floor can be dropped here, so you can actually not give it a flat load because you still have this lip here, but you would bring it up to about there, slightly higher if you need good extra boot space. And you have a couple of handy things like these elastic tethering points also. So actually, for a small car, it has a great boot. Back of the Seat Ibiza is fairly basic. You don't get an armrest, there's no air vent or USB charging in the back. You do get electric windows, bit of height for your head, and space for the lower part of your body. Yeah, you can actually fit your feet and your knees in the back of the car, provided your front passenger doesn't have their seat all the way back and your driver isn't one of these people that sits almost in the boot of the car. That can be annoying for everybody, but especially you if you're sitting in the back. So it's fairly no frills back here. Seat just get their steering wheel so right. I always say it, they're gorgeous. The red stitching, the shortcut button here on your driver assist that brings you straight into the speed beeps that you can just turn off with one flick of this switch. It's very clever. You don't get a reversing camera on the car. You get sensors. That might be a bit of an issue for you. It's not the biggest car in the world. You do get climate control with your own physical buttons down here, nicely, somewhat old school, but you know, gear shifter and a handbrake in a car, which some people still prefer. The armrest goes up and down, but it doesn't slide forwards, possibly because of the handbrake. I'm not sure, but if you like an armrest that slides up and down that Volkswagen Group usually have, you won't find one in this car. The display for the driver is good. The materials used are decent. There's a space down here just to throw your phone. No wireless charging, but 2 USB-C charging ports also. So it's basic. You have your CarPlay, so you can hook that up, and that makes life a bit easier if you're trying to navigate around things. And the shortcut buttons down the bottom of the screen bring you to all the vital things that you'll want. And the seats are reasonably comfortable. Good bolsters on the side as well in the sportier F4 version. As I mentioned, 1 litre, 115 brake horsepower TSI engine. There's nothing necessarily wrong with it, but it's a 3-cylinder. It can be a little bit noisy at times. It's nicely made into the automatic DSG gearbox because that just takes care of really quick gear changes. So I've nothing really to complain about in that sense, but I just wish it had a little bit more power. Maybe 130 brake horsepower or so would be absolutely perfect for the size of car. Now, like, it can move. You just have to wind it up. For overtaking, you've got to wind it up. That will result in about 7.6 litres per 100 kilometres. A car of this size, if this was a Yaris, for example, it would be giving you probably 2.5 litres per 100 kilometres back. So it's a little bit thirsty considering the size of the car, and that kind of overemphasizes my point that maybe if it had a bit more power, it would actually use less fuel because it wouldn't be trying to shift such a heavy car. All that said, because you have to wind it up, it actually means that it's quite a bit of fun to drive. You can brake late and go into corners and turn in nicely. So there's actually a bit of fun in driving the Ibiza. And if you're on the right road surface, it's pretty comfortable. There's no surprises when it comes to potholes. Even though the wheels, they're 18, but they're not big by today's standard. You do notice the gears changing quite a bit though, because they're working. They're having to work. Safety stuff, so you'll get the frontal collision avoidance. As I mentioned, you don't get the camera. There's no blind spot. There's a key for the ignition. I showed you the handbrake. So it is, in a sense, a kind of a back to basics car. And when you tick the paint and the F4 option and you're at 30 grand, there's a lot more sophisticated cars out there today for the same money. But you mightn't want certain types of brands. You might like the design of this one, how it looks, and something familiar in a Say It badge. But yeah, just have to point out, 30 grand, as much as there's a lot of negativity about car prices, 30 grand will buy you a lot these days. I get it, people love brands and they like particular models, and you know, that's what makes the world go round. The Say It Ibiza, it's always been a fun thing to get around in. It's always been a good looking car, especially these days in F4 trim. And as hopefully you've seen in the video, there's a good bit of space inside. It handles well. The main fly in the ointment for me is just it's a little bit under powered at 115 brake horsepower. Back in the day, you'd crank a 2 litre, 200 brake horsepower petrol engine under this, and it would probably beat a Golf GTI because it would be lighter. Those days are possibly over at this stage. It would actually be a car that would suit an EV, but that would add quite a few zeros onto the price, no doubt. So if you want a good, honest, good-looking car, power isn't the biggest priority for you perhaps, but you want something that's affordable and very sexy looking, Say It Ibiza is worth a look.